Hi, I'm the Book Tart, and I want to tell you about a delicious, fun contemporary romance that I absolutely fell in love with. It's called Wallbanger, and it's by Alice Clayton. And I remember noticing it a few months ago on the new release list, and I had to get it. I love this cover. It's really yummy. So this is contemporary romance, and it's snarky and sexy and silly and sweet. There's a lot of sweet in it, a lot of heart. But the story is hysterically funny. I was laughing out loud like a loon. I loved the hero and heroine. I love Caroline. Caroline is a designer, and she's moved into a new apartment that she's subletting from her boss. And her very first night there, the wall that she shares with the next door apartment shares a wall with her bedroom. And she's awoken by wall banging, thumping on her wall. Her neighbor's getting busy, and he shakes the wall and knocks a picture frame off on her head. It's brilliant. And Caroline is a bit ticked off, disturbs her sleep, and she's also maybe a smidge jealous because she had a not great date, pretty boring, and that encounter left her missing her O. That's what she calls it. She's missing her O, and can't get no satisfaction. So hearing somebody getting satisfaction next door is kind of like rubbing, salt in a wound. It's really, really drives her nuts. So the interaction between her and Simon, the first interaction, I about died. Loved it. Love her girlfriends. And once I met Simon and saw beneath, was like Caroline was able to see beneath some of his layers. Oh man, I fell in love with Simon. Yes, he has what Caroline calls his harem, and he cares for all of them, but he hasn't made any long-term permanent connection with anyone. He's been wounded and he's got walls up, and he and Caroline they're kind of frenemies at the start, or enemies that become, friends. There's chemistry and spark between them. It's really delicious and yummy. And there's so many lines in this book that demand to be said out loud. I loved Alice's writing style. Like I said, the dialogue, wonderful dialogue. And there's bits where they text back and forth, and that's pretty funny too. And I love the ending. I love watching them fall in love and become friends, and friends who fall in love. And so I'm reading you, would like to read you a bit from the beginning, a bit from page 18 and 19, where she has been out drinking, celebrating with her girlfriends, and she comes home a bit tipsy. So, Mimi laughed, and I turned to her. "And you, Mimi, you are my best friend, and you're so tiny. I bet I could carry you around in my pocket." I giggled as I tried to find my pocket. Mimi was a petite Filipino with caramel skin and the blackest hair. "We should have cut her off after the guacamole left the table," Mimi muttered. "She is never allowed to drink again without food present." She dragged me up the last few steps. "Don't talk about me like I'm not here," I complained, taking off my jacket and starting in on my shirt. "Okay, let's not get naked in the hallway, huh?" Sophie shot back, taking my keys from my purse and opening my door. I tried to kiss her on the cheek, and she pushed me off. "You smell like tequila and sexual repression, Caroline. Get off me." She laughed and opened my door. As we traveled to the bedroom, I caught sight of Clive on the windowsill. "Hey there, Clive. How's my big boy?" I sang. He glared at me and stalked off to the living room. He disapproved of my alcohol use. I stuck my tongue out at him. I flopped down on the bed and surveyed my girls in the doorway. They smirked in that "you are drunk and we are not, so we judge you" way. "Don't you act all high and mighty, ladies. I've seen you more drunk than this on many an occasion," I noted, my pants going the way of my blouse. "Ask me why I kept my heels on, and I will never be able to tell you." The two of them pulled down the duvet, and I crawled under the covers and glared. They tucked me in so well that the only things sticking out were my eyeballs, my nostrils, and my messy hair. "Why is the room spinning? What the hell did you guys do to Jillian's apartment? She'll kill me if I mess up her rent control," I cried, moaning as I watched the room move. "The room isn't spinning. Settle down," Mimi chuckled, sitting down next to me and patting my shoulder. "And that thumping, what the hell is that thumping?" I whispered into Mimi's armpit, which I then sniffed and complimented her deodorant choice. "Caroline, there's no thumping. Jesus, you must have had more than we thought. Sophie exclaimed, settling down on the end of the bed. No, Sophie, I hear it too. You can't hear that? Mimi said in a hushed voice. Sophie was quiet, and all three of us listened. There was a distinct thump, and then an unmistakable groan. Kittens, lay back. You're about to get wall-banged, I stated. So yeah, that was their introduction to Simon. Really, really good. If you're in the mood for a laugh out loud, hysterically funny contemporary romance with heart and humor and heat, read this. Read Wallbanger by Alice Clayton. Thanks from the Book Tart.